Okay, so we are going live. We should be live. Hi, everyone.
I'm just drinking my coffee. I always give it a moment because it takes a moment. Now I'm just staring at the screen like,
we have to wait for the video feed.
I've forgotten how to do YouTube.
Go out onto the internet.
We've been doing the Facebook all this week, and I feel like I forgot how to do YouTube. So there we go. But we did it. No, we're live. Okay, we're on YouTube. Yay! It looks like we're in a glass of gin and tonic.
I know. We're
It's good. I like it.
I feel kind of weird with this.
I want to like lick the side and just be like, gin. How is everybody doing? I hope
we're in a giant glass bottle today.
Yes. Gin bottle.
Gin bottle.
Yeah. Yes. So how is everybody doing? I hope you are all having an amazing week. You have recovered from Halloween. Have you recovered from Halloween?
I've recovered from
You were a barbecue, if I remember rightly.
It was a barbecue.
With interestingly placed sausages.
Yeah. Thank you, Internet, for pointing that out.
I know, I hadn't even noticed the sausages, and then I posted it on my timeline, and everyone was like, "Nice sausages, Isaac."
Yeah.
Hello, Eleanor. I hope you are doing very, very well. I hope everyone is having a marvelous week. It's Tuesday.
It is.
Oh my gosh. And it's like November the 5th today. And the reason I know that is because it is Lowvember. Oh, people are saying they don't have sound. Do you have sound, guys? Let me know if you don't have sound, because that would be tragic. You should have sound. If you don't have sound, maybe try rebooting your YouTube or something like that. Sorry, Chris and Brenda. I know YouTube can be kind of fiddly with things like that.
Can anyone else hear us, or is everyone getting no sound?
Can someone just say yes? Okay, Barbara
awesome.
says
Thank
she
you,
can
Barbara.
hear us, so that's good. Okay, so yeah, it's been Halloween. We've been really, really busy the last couple of weeks. We're currently doing Lowvember at the moment. So if you are in our KDP group and you are using tangent templates, what we are doing this month for the whole of November, we are doing Lowvember, which means we are putting out a new template every day in tangent templates. So every day of November. So by the end of November, we will have 30 different templates added in to tangent templates. And what we're doing with these is we're trying to sort of push people to go a little bit out of their comfort zone and try out some new niches. Some of these are coming from requests. Some of them are just wacky ideas I dreamt up. Some of them are just something I heard was trending and I thought was cool. And so I put my spin on it. But so far, we're on day 5. We put out a vision board, a makeup chart, an anxiety management page, a flash fiction page, and today we put out a food log. And what I've been doing in the KDP group, I've been going live each day and talking about just how you can use these different interiors, how you can use them in your books, how you can mix and match them with planners. A lot of them go really, really well with planners, like the anxiety management. You can totally sort of fit that into your planners along with like mood trackers, things like that. The vision board is pretty cool. You could put a vision board at the beginning of each month of your planner so people can like fill out their vision for the month. So like in January, what are you going to do in January? What are you going to do in February? It's kind of a different way to put inserts into your planner that way. Yeah. So today we added a food log. And the other thing we're doing with these is they have quite a detailed description underneath each interior. So we explain different ways you can niche these, how you can use them in different ways in your books. So the food log, it kind of looks generic, but that was sort of on purpose, because what we want you to do is to niche it to your book. So if you're making a workout journal, you can mix this with workout pages and do a full fitness journal or planner. If you're doing, say, moods, or you want to do like symptom management, like maybe you're doing like a chronic illness journal, people might want to track what food they're eating to see if they're having allergies, to see if their mood is dependent on the food they're eating. My mood is very dependent on usually on what I'm not eating. If I'm not eating, then I'm grumpy.
Yeah, she skips a meal.
If I skip a meal, it's bad times.
It's Mrs. Hulk.
or I what did you just call me?
Miss Hulk. Mrs. Hulk.
That's not very nice. He bullies me. Everyone's just like, wow, Catherine's like always picking on
Right, but if you're not,
I'm like, occasionally you see this.
But if you're not eating though, you're like.
That's true. That's a good point. And if I don't have coffee, it's like coffee and food, and I'm good. Oh my gosh, we went to see the Terminator movie.
Yes, we saw the new Terminator last night.
What did you think of it, Isaac? Do we have to be careful about spoilers?
Yeah, I don't want to give spoilers. Okay. I enjoyed it for what it was. It felt like it was directed by Michael Bay, and that it was very, very action heavy.
Very action heavy.
Yes, but I felt like the plot line was written by Robot Chicken.
I don't know anything about Robot Chicken.
Okay,
you need to explain this to me.
Robot Chicken, they have these animated, like I think they're like claymation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they're always just making fun of pulp culture.
Oh,
and
okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, you know, I was such a huge fan when Terminator 2 came out. Like I was a kid. We were kids when it came out. And oh my god, I remember that movie being so life-changing, and I had like posters of Arnold all over my wall, and I loved that movie so much. So I was like excited because you kind of raised my hopes for this one, because
this was supposed to be a continuation. So they kind of skipped all the movies that happened after T2. They act like they don't exist, and this is like a direct sequel to the original T2.
It had Linda Hamilton.
Yes, from an alternate reality. Some elements were really good. It was still a fun movie. It's just Arnold was just forced in there. Like, I mean,
he made me laugh.
They shoehorned him, like they just forced him in there, and that's where I felt the Robot Chicken kind of.
It was pretty funny. it was interesting. It wasn't T2 though, but I like the girls. I thought that was pretty awesome that they had like a girl squad sort of running it.
Cool. And the lead is she's from one of our favorite Black Mirror episodes.
Oh my gosh, that was
which
so
is really cool.
Oh yeah, she's like the big tough girl in this, but she was like the dorky girl. The dorky nerdy girl.
Yes, on the Black Mirror.
Oh, yeah. I love that episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah.
So I don't watch a lot of Black Mirror, but you started sort of pre-watching them for me, and it's like, oh, Katharyne would like this.
Yeah,
one.
she doesn't like the real dark ones. She likes the ones that end on kind of a middle or kind of light.
Yeah. Anyway, we
keep going.
we digress. So okay, what have we got to talk about this week? So we just talked about Lowvember. So yay! I'm glad everyone is enjoying Lowvember. We've been getting lots of so the other thing with Lowvember is that if you make a book that is inspired by one of the Lowvember templates, and you don't have to actually use our template. You can like make your own version of a food log. You can create any kind of food in related book that you like, but if you create a book that's inspired by one of our templates, you can post it in the official Lowvember thread in our group, and you can win an everything bundle worth $450. In fact, it's worth more than that, but that's what we usually sell it for. And you can also win a $100 Amazon gift card. So that's what's happening in our KDP group at the moment. We're running Lowvember. We have a big contest going, and at the end of the month, we're going to pick a winner to win all those fabulous things. So that's going on.
And really quick update with our new interior.
Tell us about the designer tool.
Yes, so thank you everyone who's been trying it and using it. And
did you just do the namaste thing? Thank you.
I think I did. Yes,
wow,
I
didn't realize it.
I did. Thank you everyone. Yes. So as I mentioned, and also on the site, it is an early beta. And yes, I got a huge request from all different bugs. I believe I squashed most of them. So if you
pretty solid
gave it
now.
a try and it wasn't working quite right, give it another try. Shoot me an email, support@tangent.rocks.
If you still find any bugs or any issues in the interior designer, please email us. We have taken out as many as we think you've told us about. It looks pretty solid now. It's working really nicely. So you can add in your pages here. You can go and choose some cool designs. So we've put in things like copyright pages. We've got this journal belongs to. You can add some of these are just cool layouts. So I don't know, you can put your pictures in there. You can make workbooks. So if you wanted to make a workbook, you can put in space to answer questions. Which one's a good one for workbooks? This is a pretty good one. You can put this one in there. You can put your own, you can redraw these so you can make longer spaces. You can write your questions in here. So these can be your answer boxes. There we go. So I'm going to bring that up there. There we go. You can add your lines, you can add text in there, so you can write your questions. So if you want to make a workbook, you can be like, click in that, you can do like, how do you feel? Like you can just create your journal pages right in here with your boxes, with workbooks, journals, planners, whatever you want to do. You can build it in the interior designer now. We are basically making sure this is running really, really solidly, that you're having no problems with it. Then we're going to start adding some more features. We have a lot of things we want to add in here. I know you want things like page numbers. There's a lot of other things you guys have been asking for, and we're working on them. We want this to be the best tool it can possibly be. So we just keep going on adding to tangent templates. So thank you for building this, Isaac. It's pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about it. People are really enjoying it. We're getting tons of good feedback from you guys on both Lowvember and the interior designer. So huge thank you to all of you for just supporting us with this and telling us what you want to hear, because ultimately everything we've done really with tangent templates has been built off your suggestions. Like a lot of the Lowvember templates we're doing are in response to suggestions from the community. So yeah, we're really trying to help you guys out and put whatever we can in there so that you can make really quality books that hopefully will sell. Because that's what it's all about. We all want to sell books. Cool. Okay, so let's get moving along. Oh, Hans Fly says, can you make the text editor available for full screen mode?
I believe it should work. I need to run some tests. It should work. If not, shoot me an email and I'll take a closer look at it. But it should work for full screen mode.
You can open up in full screen mode. Cool. Okay. Yeah, can you not just open a window in your browser into full screen? You should be able to get that.
Yeah, there's multiple reasons. Yeah, shoot me an email so I know specifically the issue you're running into.
How you want it to look.
Yes, and I will look into it.
Awesome. Oh, Laura said we're a power couple doing fantastic work. I don't feel very power couple today, but it's all good. I've got coffee. We'll be powering on in a moment. Okay, so
get started with the show.
Let's get. Well, yeah, we're kind of into
we're in the show.
The show. We're about 10 minutes in. We're getting there. Okay, we're not just talking about movies. Oh my gosh, that was a bad movie though. I like the plane crash. That was pretty cool, but it was like, oh my gosh. So the problem with Terminator, right? With Terminator in general, is there's just a huge amount of like, oh no, the Terminator's face is falling off. Oh no, his arm turned into a giant spike and he's just skewered you. And there was pretty much about an hour's worth of, like, for a 2-hour movie, there was probably about an hour and a half of,
run,
shoot,
oh no,
run.
This is happening, no.
Oh, that's pretty good. We like reenacted the movie there. Oh no,
Don't
he's
die.
coming.
You died, no.
Yes.
Wow, it was...
the actors were great. It was just the writing.
I could rip into this so much more, but I don't want to give any spoilers away. But oh my gosh.
It was interesting. I was reading up on how they make box office predictions, because I thought that was really interesting, because the amount of money that goes into like big movies now. They said that they reckon the Terminator movie is going to lose about $100 million. $100 million.
Oh
They think it's going to lose at the box office. And I'm like, how do they actually kind of make these predictions? Like, I would have thought that James Cameron, right? He's got like 40 years experience writing movies. Wouldn't he look at the script and go, we didn't do a great job here on the story?
I can't believe he allowed that script. Like, supposedly he wrote it. I couldn't believe that he.
Like, I feel like story and character are like the key thing. Like, I feel like anyone knows this who writes books or writes anything or like does any sort of creative improv theater, whatever. It's like you kind of need a story and you kind of need characters that you care about. And I feel like that is kind of the key to a good movie. Like, all the eye candy and the explosions are awesome. That story.
One thing we learned about 2019, whatever worked and sold well in the 90s does not work today.
I know, we're kind of old though.
It's new. So
you've got to move on from the 90s. And this is a problem I have, because I feel like I'm still like, yay, everything was good in the 90s. The music was great. Everything was awesome.
Now, with that said, okay, we saw two movies recently the past month. We saw the new Terminator movie, and we also saw The Joker. The Joker was a masterpiece.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I absolutely love that movie. Yes, it's very dark in nature, but it was very much 100% character driven.
If you keep talking about the Joker, I'm going to make you do your impressions.
Oh no, okay, we can move on.
All right, let's move on. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about today. Oh, I wanted to talk about Meetup. Oh my gosh. Oh, I am not a happy camper where it comes to meetup.com.
Okay, let's hear it out.
Okay, let's hear it. Well, okay. And I have to say I play a bit devil's advocate here because so Meetup is interesting. Because I feel that what they do is they lock you in. So this is the deal with Meetup. You have to pay if you have a Meetup on meetup.com. So if you've lived under a rock and you haven't heard of Meetup, it's basically a place where you can start a group in your local area and people can come and attend your group. And so you can run a monthly session, a weekly session, whatever you want to do with your Meetup. You can teach a class, you can just like hang out and drink beer, whatever it is you want to do at a Meetup. And if you pay them money, which I think is currently like $19 a month, you can organize your own meetups. So if you don't pay the money, you can go to other people's meetups. If you pay the money, you can organize your own meetups. So I started a meetup like maybe 2 years ago, and I have never actually held a meetup for these people, which is kind of bad of me. But that's because I have a Facebook group. So I have Meetup groups, and then I just say, "I'll go and get the news from the Facebook group."
Right.
But the thing with Meetup is that if someone abandons their Meetup, then anyone else who's a member can hijack it. So if they say, "Okay, I'm sick of paying $20 a month, I'm not going to pay it anymore," then someone else can step up and say, "Great, this is my Meetup group now." So this made me a little bit sad because my credit card actually bounced, and it didn't bounce, it expired.
Yeah.
And so I missed paying a Meetup thing, and because I'm like disorganized, I ignored the email that said your credit card's expired. And then I realized that someone had jumped up and taken over treasure hunting in San Diego, and it still had like our picture on the front, it had all this stuff going on. So I emailed Meetup and I'm like, yeah, this is actually like all my copyrighted pictures, and it mentions
it had her
company
name, her profile, like all personal information.
So anyway, long story short, they gave me my group back, but now I still have to keep paying $20 a month.
They basically, she sent them a letter saying, look, they're using my face. Can you at least get my face and my name out of it? And they replied back, says, give us money and you can get access to it again. Which it felt like extortion. It really did.
I do question the legality of
their
business
I think
model.
we had a strong legal case. The question is, can we be bothered at this time? It
not.
felt very much Yelpish. What Yelpish
so anyway, long story short, I gave in and said, fine, I'll stop paying $20 a month again. Let me have my group back. And actually, I've stepped up and adopted some other groups as well. So,
do they have their names and profiles?
I love how when like someone takes over my group, I'm like, oh, that dirty hijacker. And then when I do it, I'm like, no, I adopted and took good care of someone else's group. Honestly, if they came back, I would like happily give them their group back.
I think the shady thing is when they take it, but they don't change the content. So they're writing off your name, your brand.
It's pretty dodgy.
And like it could have easily went malicious.
It's a weird model. There's a few other, like Facebook actually has kind of a similar model that you can take over someone else's group.
Oh yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know, is it a good thing or a bad thing to take over someone else's group? As I say, like if you put it in a good light, it's like, yay, I adopted your group and made it nice for you. Because honestly, I took someone's, they had a publishing group.
Right.
And they abandoned it and everyone was just posting spam. So I was a member of it. So I said, okay, fine, I'm going to clean up this group, get rid of all the spam, get rid of all the junk, and put a thing in saying, if you want KDP help, we can help you.
Right.
So, I mean, I feel like, no, I can see both sides of that. Like, oh, you evil hijacker. But also it's like, well, they abandoned their group. They didn't want to take care of it. It was full of spam. Like, I don't know. That's how the systems are set up.
Okay, I think, honestly, I think it's a good thing for Meetup. It's a good thing for the users, because if someone decides they don't want to lead it anymore, the group can still be active because people, they still want to meet. There's still a need for that. I just think they need a better system so that if you decide to walk away from a group, you should be able to take your content with you.
Yes.
Like it's the content. I mean, the shady thing here is where they're running a group with Katharine's face on it.
Yeah, but it's not me. That's
right.
Anyway, I got my group back.
Yeah,
so that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit more about Meetup. So another thing with Meetup is they seem to be changing the model somewhat. They haven't rolled it out for everyone, but I believe they're now going to start charging attendees to go to meetups. So it's not just organizers that are, and they're saying like it's nice because they'll split the cost between organizers and attendees, but I think most attendees won't join a meetup if they have to pay. But I think maybe they're onto the fact that a lot of people are basically using Meetup as kind of a funnel to bring people into their Facebook
This is turning into Eventbrite.
What, how do you mean?
Well, Eventbrite is a service specifically focused for events, and people can pay to go to an event. And the way they work, they collect the money, and then after the event's done, they go and distribute it.
I do feel Meetup is struggling a bit.
Absolutely. It's a huge cash in.
It's kind of a weird business model. But there's some good things with Meetup. So as I say, you can kind of use it as a funnel. Like you can use it for if people are looking for a Meetup group and you have a product that solves their problem, then you can actually create a Meetup group based around your product if it's worth spending $20 a month to do that.
My question is Meetup the only place where you can go and...
It's funny you asked that. Hey. I actually have a list of meetup.com alternatives. But actually, honestly, none of them are very good. But this is a good article. I'll put a link in the notes.
Okay.
But yeah, there are some alternatives to Meetup. There's Imamo.
Okay, never heard of it.
No, it's funny because there's a TV show in England called Shooting Stars, and they used to go Uvavu, Iranu, and Imamo. So it totally sounds like. So that's one for the British viewers, elderly British viewers me. Luxury card store. I had a Meetup group that I voluntarily gave up because not enough people would show up for the meetings. Yeah. I think that was my problem. It was like, oh my gosh, I've actually got to go out there and like talk to people. Oh.
And then you have the meeting, you're like, oh, you showed up. Thanks. Great. Okay.
Wow. You're mean. You're like that one guy.
That one guy.
There's a Venti that's not available yet. There's actually quite a few alternatives to Meetup. Meetabit. And Eventbrite. There you go. Yeah. So there are some alternatives. I don't know if any of them are that great, but I wanted to share another thing that Meetup's actually really, really good for. And that's for niche hunting. So check it out. If you go to Meetup and you go explore, it actually tells you all of the meetups that are going on around you. So I've done 50 miles. You can do 100 miles. Yeah. You get some really wacky ideas. So you've got sidewalk hiking, PowerShell. I don't know what that is. That sounds like something you'd do. Bio enthusiasts, craft beers, Winter's Tale open reading, Barrage, that's a board game. Oh, that was a great one I got earlier. I got the San Diego Board Gamers, and it was a gay men's board game group. I thought that was amazing.
Nice little fun there.
It was a nice intersect. There's chorus, tennis. There was a great one I saw. What was it? It was called...
I saw 54. That was up there. It's 54 attendees. Which one was the one?
Yes. Oh, Death of Specialization and the Rise of the Polymath, OC Python.
Wow, that's very specific.
Are you into OC Python?
No.
Oh, you're not a Python guy.
I know Python, but I'm not familiar with OC Python.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There's stuff about Islam, there's stuff about cribbage. Oh, where did my computer go? There we go. There was a great one that I had to look up. It had a long, I can't find. Oh, shamanic Reiki. That's a good one. There was a great one I had to look up. It was called I've forgotten the word for it now. I've forgotten the word. It was a long word, but it meant a love of fungus.
Oh,
and there was seriously a group for people who love fungus.
Wow.
But I can't remember the name of the word. It begins with an M. So if you look up the love of fungus, it begins with an M. But that's really popular in San Diego, apparently. They have a meetup for that. So
wait, is that Orange County?
Yeah, because I did 100 miles. I get it.
Okay, so that's why. So OC Python, I get it.
It's the Orange County Python people. Oh, Weed in the Wild West. That's a good one. Yeah, anyway, so Meetup's a great place just to get some niches. If you're stuck for niches or ideas for your books or your products, whatever it is you're doing, go to Meetup and just browse through, explore.
Yeah, and don't be deceived by the number of people that meet there, because you might find that these niches are big across the country collectively. There's like a larger number of people as opposed to this little like meetup group that only has like 4 people in it.
That's true. Yeah, and I mean, you can browse anywhere. I think you can actually you can browse any city.
Yeah. Oh, that's
so you're
really
not
cool.
tied to your own city. You can sort of pretty much browse anywhere. So yeah, it's just a cool place to find some new niches and sort of see what people are up to. Okay, what else have we got to talk about? Oh yeah. Oh no, where's the cat gone? Oh, I lost the cat. Oh well.
No. Okay.
Hold on, let me fix it. Yeah, just I can bring it back.
Okay.
Okay, if just say something nice to the people. Do an impression or something.
Impression.
Yeah.
You
you need to have some ready. You
I know,
really
I need
do.
to have material ready.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Okay.
It's okay. I've saved you. Okay, so this is Cinderblock, the cat. He's just a fat cat, which he's like the biggest internet celebrity now. Like, this is the new grumpy cat.
You know, he showed up on my Twitter feed. I thought it was cute and funny. I had no idea it was going to be on the homepage of CNN.
Yeah, he's like everywhere now.
It blew up. Yeah.
So I guess they made a video. This is really sad though. So this poor cat, he's really fat, and they put him on a treadmill. And in this picture, this is where he's on the treadmill, and he just sits in the corner with one paw going along the treadmill like that. Like, he's like, I'm not going to walk on that.
Yeah, and they have water flowing underneath. Yeah,
but it's kind of interesting. Like, there's a lot of controversy because people are like, this is really wrong to like make your cat really fat and to like have your cat like this. I thought you could do like a cat fitness book.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So like when I was doing the meal planner log or the food log this morning, I thought, what about making a cat or a dog food log? So you could log how much nutrition your animals are getting.
I feel there's two ways you can go with it. You can go both with the pro health, right?
Yes.
Or you can go of just the attitude of the cat itself being, screw you, this is who I am. Kind of thing.
That's true.
And I think people love the video because the cat just showed absolutely no enthusiasm for that treadmill whatsoever. So
I know, you kind of know how he feels.
Yeah, it's like, you identify with that. Like, yeah, you can't make me.
Yeah. Chonky, that's the other word.
Oh, chonky.
Sid uses it all the time.
Okay.
He's like, he talks about animals like dogs and cats. He calls them chonky.
How do you spell that?
It's like chunky, but with an O. So it's CHONKY.
That's a good word to know.
Or chonk. You can say he's a big chonk.
Oh,
but
okay.
You tend to use it about animals because that's been mean if you said it about people. Don't look at me. I see you. See you, Isaac. Okay, let's move on. Oh yeah, this is hilarious. So T-Mobile, the people that own T-Mobile, who are called like Deutsche Telekom, they apparently own magenta. The color magenta, they are claiming that it is theirs.
Wow, that's copyright, trademark, and a whole nother level.
They went after this insurance company called Lemonade and said, no, you may not use magenta. It is our color. And apparently what they did, it was in Germany, they trademarked this specific color. But apparently they've been like harassing people over this for a while. So I actually looked this up to find out a bit more about this.
Yeah.
And I found this article from Engadget. So I guess they went after Engadget, and Engadget are just laughing at them and saying, yeah, no. So
don't use my color.
Well, here's the thing, and this is something that comes up a lot in our groups in KDP. So people are like, oh my gosh, this thing is a trademark. Can I use it in my book? And the thing with trademarks, like there are many trademarks that are just one word or very simple phrases like apple. Apple is a trademark. Now, if you would say, no, you can't use the word apple in a book, that would be terrible. You'd lose like every alphabet book that's ever been written. Unless it's like in like Urdu or some other language. You would lose so many books if you ban the word apple. Like Victoria's Secret have pink.
Right.
You can't, you need to be able to use the word pink. So the thing with trademarks, and I know that a lot of you do merch, and merch is like a whole different kettle of fish because they are just wacky about trademarks and tend to pull anything that's a trademark. But thankfully the rest of the world and even the rest of Amazon is not like merch, too much at least. But yeah, you can use a simple trademark in your book. The key thing is you can't infringe. And I'm not a lawyer, obviously. If I was a lawyer, I'd be out making the big bucks and not talking on YouTube wearing a Queen shirt in a glass of gin and talking about Terminator. But I'm not a lawyer. But the thing that is an issue is trademark infringement. So infringement is when you confuse people, when you use a trademark in a way that is confusing. So people think that you represent that company or that you're somehow exploiting that company or trying to make money off that company. That is when it is a problem. So really, they can't be like, okay, we trademark this color in Germany.
That's for the courts to decide, not you.
Yeah. It doesn't work like that.
It'd be like Tiffany trademarking their color.
Now that's funny you say that, because actually Tiffany have trademarked their color, and UPS have trademarked their brown color.
Yep.
So that they actually are trademarks. However, like, here's the thing: it's not saying like you can never use brown or you can never use Tiffany blue in anything. It's saying that you can't use it in a way that in fact, honestly, this background's pretty much Tiffany blue. It's saying that you can't use it in a way that infringes. So if I was going to make like Katharyne's jewelry store and I called it Katharyne's, so if I had like Katharyne's jewelry, I would not be allowed to use the Tiffany blue, because obviously I'm trying to exploit Tiffany's and ride off of their whole thing. So like the key thing is, don't infringe on trademarks. You can use a trademark if it's like a normal word. If it's not like Nike, just do it, swoosh. That's I wouldn't use that in any circumstances. But if it's like a normal word, then yeah, or a color, then I really wouldn't be too worried about that. So yeah. So it's about infringement, basically. Don't infringe on people's trademarks. Now, there is a little bit of a wild card there, in that there's trademark trolls, who are people who basically register slogans, and then they go after anyone who's using them and try and get them taken down. And unfortunately, sometimes Amazon will take their side. But as long as it's like a regular company registering the trademark, usually, as long as you're not using it in a way that competes with them, infringes on what they're doing, exploits their name, then it shouldn't be a big thing. And no, T-Mobile really shouldn't be able to own Pink, and probably can't.
Magenta,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, you can read more about this. Engadget have a really good article about it here. But I thought it was kind of an interesting topic. So let's see. Alaka says polar bear is also a trademark. That doesn't surprise me. And Don James says, good day from Singapore.
Oh,
wow, that's a long way away.
Yeah.
I've never been to Singapore. I would like to go to Singapore. It looks beautiful. And I like Singapore noodles.
Oh, okay.
Those are really good. Cool. Okay. So wow, I'm full of great like information.
Tidbits, yeah.
Okay, Bonjour.
What is Bonjour?
So this is kind of interesting. I got an advert for this. Now, I haven't even like signed up or looked at it really, but I like the idea of it. So I guess what they do is they send out videos, or they let you send video messages to people. So instead of sending emails to your customers and doing like a mailing list, you can actually send out a video to your customers. And that really got me thinking, because I mean, we do a lot of video, obviously. We do like YouTube and Facebook videos, but I hadn't really thought about sort of emailing individual videos. And I thought that was kind of an interesting idea.
Whoa. Okay, how is this different from uploading a video from YouTube and providing a link in an email? Like, what's the catch here?
That's probably true. I think they get emailed to you. I think it's basically a video message emailed to you.
So they glorified the process.
They kind of made, I think they just made
it
the
looks like they beautify
cool.
the process.
Exactly.
So they put your video in like a cool frame, maybe an animated frame.
Right. And they kind of just are upselling the whole idea of making a video. So that's why I'm like, I'm not really like, I don't really know much about this product. I haven't used this product, but I do think it's a really interesting idea to market using videos, like direct to people. I hadn't really thought too much about
now, is this like mass, or is this just like one-on-one? Because it looks like it's like for business to business.
Yeah, and I think you can use it one-on-one as well. So when people I mean, I guess if someone like buys Tangent templates, we could send a video and say, thank you so much for buying Tangent templates. We really appreciate you. You're awesome. Yay.
Okay.
And I think on mobile, especially, that's kind of a nice thing. Like it's people tend to watch videos quickly on mobile and just be like, oh, cool. Thank you. That was nice. So I just wanted to put it out there as like, if you're thinking about marketing your books, and I always tell people, like, do video to market your books. Put videos on YouTube. Like, do a reading. Like, read your book. Read a chapter of your book on YouTube. Video is so powerful. People take in so much more from like watching and listening to a video. They're like, look at Isaac and Katharyne. Wow, I never realized they were so goofy. But yeah, it's good. Make videos. Cool. Okay.
Save me a trip to the movies.
It really did. You could. I mean, look at this. These people could be out there watching the Terminator movie. Going, wow, look at this cinematic masterpiece. Sorry, I had a word problem.
It's all right. All right.
It's okay. Oh my gosh. Oh, what else is happening?
Right.
Oh, Google. This is kind of interesting. Actually, this is an old story, but we haven't done a tangent show for a week or two. So
Right.
this is actually pretty cool. Google are overhauling their algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
And what they're doing is they're implementing more natural language, which I think is really interesting. So they give some examples here, like at the moment, if you type in, can you get medicine for someone pharmacy at Google? And it's so funny how we like have this Google speak. Like we all kind of know how to type to Google now, that you miss out all the little words, the joining words and things. So if you type in, can you get medicine for someone pharmacy? The old style of Google will just pick out the words medicine and pharmacy and show you information about local drugstores. Mm-hmm. Now, the new algorithm will notice the words for someone and says, oh, you want to know if you're allowed to pick up someone else's prescription. And then it will give you information about whether or not you can pick up someone's prescription and how you would go about doing that. So they're using this natural language. They're calling it BERT, mm-hmm. which stands for Bidirectional Encoder Representations from Transformers.
What?
I think this is...
Say that 10 times fast.
I know, that this is like full-on nerd corner stuff right there.
Oh, wow.
But like they said, if you type in parking on a hill with no curb, it actually gives you the top result, will tell you how to park on a hill with a curb, because they don't read the word no. So the new one will deliver a result showing how to park uphill or downhill.
Basically more contextual.
Yes, exactly.
Information. That makes sense.
So I think this is really interesting. I'm curious how it's going to affect people with websites, whether there's anything we need to do to the SEO on websites to.
Well, yeah, another weird thing that happens with Google, and I read this a while ago, is that Google is extracting content from your website and displaying the answers directly on Google.
Oh yeah.
So like Katharyne.com, if they ask you, what does Katharyne think about this movie? It'll just display it just above the URL link, and there's no reason for you to visit Katharyne.com.
Oh, that's funny. So people don't like that. It's
so
not getting the views on their website,
right? So
and
Google,
they're not getting the ads.
They're getting the advantage by extracting the data from your website,
that's interesting.
But you're not getting the advantage of getting
the viewer actually coming to your website.
Right.
And I hadn't thought about that. That's a really good point. Yeah.
And it's just that's just going to keep getting worse.
As a user, I love it though when it like extracts information. Like you type in like movie times, and it gives you your local cinema.
Google's like the Oracle. You ask it anything, and they'll just feed back an answer to you.
So I don't know. That's something to watch. It'll be interesting to see whether that's going to affect people with websites and whether we're going to need to do anything with that. But yeah, it's called BERT if you want to read up any more about that. I thought that was pretty cool. Oh, so Emma Watson, Hermione Granger.
Yeah.
She is turning 30, and she's declared that she is self-partnered.
Self-partnered.
Yeah, she said that there's a lot of pressure when you turn 30. That for women that you should have. I can't believe Hermione's 30.
Yeah, I'm more. Yeah, actually, I was about to say that.
Like,
I'm like, wait, what? How old are we?
Yeah,
what's my age again?
What's my age again? Yeah, so she's turning 30, and she said there's a lot of pressure on women to have children and husbands and houses and everything they need by the age of 30. Oh my God, I was married at 21. Don't do it, kids. Don't do it.
I was getting divorced at 30.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, so we can marry each other. Right. Well, move in with each other.
Right.
Live in sin. Wow, we sound like terrible people. It wasn't like that. It was nicer than that, mostly. Emma Watson. Hermione. Oh yeah. So she said she's self-partnered. I think this is kind of funny. It reminds me of when was it Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin said they were conscientiously uncoupling.
Oh, okay.
When instead of getting divorced, they uncoupled conscientiously. So I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think like self-partnering can be a thing? Can you declare yourself self-partnered? That you just love yourself so much?
To me personally, she sounds like a very private individual, and I think that's her way of telling you none of your effing business.
Oh wow,
leave me alone. That's my take on that.
I've seen this. This is kind of a thing though. I've seen like girls with like buying engagement rings for themselves, and And I've seen it in some like slightly less vanilla areas of the web where people are like also like buying other things for themselves and just declaring like I am myself, I am my own person.
You know, the best I saw was this guy in Japan, and he had an Instagram feed, and he doesn't have a girlfriend, but he wants to take photos. So he had makeup and painted his hand to look like a female hand. He put like nails on it, and he painted it. He kind of like made it lighter skin. And he just took a bunch of pictures with his hands touching each other, holding each other, him like touching himself. And it looked like it was his girlfriend's hand touching him. And so it kind of reminded me of that. But it was done so well. It was hilarious. I'm guessing the guy's got a girlfriend now. He's probably fine, but he started this when he was single and it took off, and he's probably still making these pictures.
But you know, it gets like controversial. People are like, well, you can't buy your own engagement ring. You can't. But I don't know. I think like smart people who are making products and marketing take this into account. That there's a lot of people who are like, no, I want to declare myself in a relationship with myself in one way or another, whether it's like an engagement ring, whether it's like something like a collar, whether it's like something like a Hermione.
I got another theory about Hermione.
Yes.
No offense to her. However, saying I'm self-partnering is probably a lot financially safer than signing a prenup. That's
probably true, because she's like worth banks.
Right, so. From the Harry Potter, right. So she doesn't have to worry about marrying someone.
It's an interesting concept. I like the idea of saying, well, no, I am complete. I don't need like another person to complete me. I've decided that this is where I am.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I mean, like this is kind of what marketers do. And like what you do as a marketer is find new ways of looking at old things.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing new under the sun about someone saying, you know what, I just decided I don't really want to be in a long-term relationship with someone. Like that's basically all it is.
Back in my day, they said it was celibacy. That's what they called it.
Right. So like there's kind of no, there's so many jokes there. I'm not even gonna go there. But I think a lot of what we do is like find a new way to just talk about old things.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what humans do. So it's kind of fun as marketers to find these like funny words like conscientious uncoupling, like self-partnering, and like come up with your own. If you can come up with a way, like a product or a ring that says, I am myself, I am my own partner, self-partnered, like make an engagement ring that says self-partnered. You could probably sell it now on Etsy. Like boom, that's all there is to it. So yeah, okay. So I thought that was interesting. What else have we got? Oh, elevator buttons.
Okay.
I don't know. There's something about this video that I really enjoyed on The Verge. So The Verge said that people are going nuts in their office because of elevator buttons. And it's one of these things that you don't really think about. In that if you go, what does Terry say? She said, sometimes when a celebrity decides to declare themselves unattached, but in a new way, it just seems a bit pretentious. That's true, but they're celebrities. That's what you do. And I feel like there's some kind of like arty level to it as well, just like finding a new, like she probably gets so bored in interviews saying like, you want to know why I don't have a boyfriend? Like she just probably comes up with some creative way to talk about it because she gets bored of being asked why she doesn't have a boyfriend. Okay, so buttons. What I thought was interesting about this. So this guy studied the buttons in the elevator in his office.
Okay.
And he said they just don't work most of the time. If you press the button, sometimes they light up, sometimes they don't light up, sometimes it stops at the right floor. And he actually logged it. He sat down, and so you can watch the video. It's like 8 minutes. He actually sat down and wrote down exactly what the buttons do, like how long he pressed them for, what happened after he pressed it, how many other people were pressing the buttons. And he found out some things with it. He found out that, for example, they were using security cards with it. And if they put the security card on and then they pressed a button, there would be a window of 5 seconds after pressing the button where it wouldn't work for anyone else. So anyone else would have to wait 5 seconds and then put their card in and press the button. And it's like, I thought what was really interesting about it was they start talking about buttons and analyzing them. And they said that pretty much the first buttons they used were doorbells. The first buttons that humans really started using
were doorbells.
And they said that the key thing is, so there's this lady who's like an expert on buttons. And she said that the key thing with buttons is that you need feedback. You need immediate feedback so you can see what they're doing. Okay. So you press a doorbell and it goes ding dong. You press an elevator button and you want the light to go on, because when the light goes on, you know it worked and it's going to take you to your floor. And I thought that was really interesting, this concept of feedback, and how as people in general, as users, we like instant feedback on something to know that like whatever we just did, it worked.
Yeah, this is really too close to home for me. We'll be up at 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, I pressed this button. How do I know it's working? Oh yeah, I didn't think about it. Fix this now.
That's kind of true, actually. I'm like, yeah, why isn't this button working, Isaac?
It's good enough. Just let it go. No.
But I don't know. Do you remember on the internet, like way back in the day when you like had Netscape?
Oh yeah.
They had there was like the button that does everything, and you could just press this button and it would take you to random websites. There was like a big red button. It was called the big red button at the middle of the internet.
That's really old.
And you could press the big red button and it would take you somewhere at random.
I don't remember that.
I told you I'm old.
Really old. That's like.
Wait, how do you know this is old? How do you know that's really old?
Because I jumped on, when I jumped on, it was with, I believe, Netscape.
Yeah, you know OG. I was on the internet when they had links and they didn't even have Netscape yet. There was no.
Well, I did do the BBS lines. I did Z-Term, and I was on a Mac, so I was limited by Mac technology at the time.
No, doesn't count.
Whoa.
No, I did BBSs. Like that's no big thing. I'm talking about the internet before they actually
the World Wide Web, the open World Wide Web.
Yeah, it was like surfing the information superhighway.
Oh my god!
It was the info bar.
So your browser, your very old school, rudimentary, primitive, monkey brain browser.
It was before Netscape 1.0.
Okay, before Netscape 1.0.
It was before Mozilla.
Mozilla. Okay, so
it was links. It was like Telnet and links.
Okay, and you had a button, and what happened?
Oh, then no. Well, actually, the button was later. I'm just saying how far back I go.
Okay.
No, okay. So they had a button, and you press the button, and it took you. We just talked about the button.
It takes you to a random website.
That was it. Yeah.
Wow. Was it ever a naughty website?
No, because this was before naughty websites, like because it was all text. They didn't have any pictures.
Like, that seems a little scary. Click a button and get a random website. You never know.
Well, in those days, if you wanted like naughty things, it was ASCII art. You're like, what am I looking at? Right. Anyway, so moving on. Okay, well, buttons and feedback. No, so I thought this was an interesting idea. The idea of buttons, and it's funny because it made me think of dash buttons as well.
Yeah.
So like Amazon tried to put out dash buttons, and they actually just declared that the dash button is dead. But the idea was that you would press the dash button and then you would get your stuff ordered to your house. But it's funny because to me, I kind of prefer pressing buttons over the Alexa and like having to talk to Alexa. I hate talking to Alexa. Oh, you hate
audio interfaces.
No, you know why? Because we've got 3 kids, 2 cats, and a dog. And it's just getting even 3 seconds of silence. So you can go, Alexa, play me a song.
Yeah. And the other problem, it's very intrusive because like you have to like change your conversations. Like Sid, whenever I go, hey, Sid, Siri always thinks I'm saying, hey, Siri.
Oh, that's true.
And so that's a bit annoying.
Oh, Barbara says, remember Stumble Upon. Does Stumble Upon still exist? That was a fun site.
Oh, yeah, I used to use Stumble Upon all the time.
You know, that would be a good site for niche hunting as well, if it still exists.
I got to find out, but yeah.
There was Dig as well. Does Dig still exist?
The Dig still exists. It's more curated now.
Okay.
And it's not the same Dig. I think Reddit's probably the closest you're going to get to a modern Dig.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Luxury card store. Anyone remember the easy button? I got you one for Christmas the
That's
year.
Right.
You annoyed me for like a year.
That was easy.
That was easy.
I clicked it all day long.
Oh, that drove me nuts. I remember that.
That's my motto in life. That
okay. So anyway, I don't know. I just thought the button video was really interesting. And I thought the whole idea of buttons is interesting. The idea of, can you automate like a task in a button? Like if you could have a magic button to do something, what would that magic button do? That's a good question for the KDP group. I'm going to post that in the group. And it's one of my $10 giveaways. But I kind of like that idea because I feel like that helps you think of products or services.
Okay, to put this back. Okay, how do you feel about the iPhone, the buttonless iPhone?
Oh,
What's your thought about the buttonless iPhone?
I was bummed that I know they took the button off the iPhone. Like, why did they do that? I like the button.
So okay. She's team button. Me, I love having.
Wait, didn't Trump complain?
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yes, Trump actually made.
Wow, I actually agree with him.
Yeah, out of everything Trump has tweeted, he got a new iPhone and he's not happy with it. He misses having the button, and he told Tim Apple on Twitter. Right. He said, "Hey Tim, yeah, the iPhone with the button was much better. The new one sucks." Is basically what he said. I
kind of agree with him actually. I missed the button, but there we go.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, I don't know. I think about it though. Well, if you could have a magic button, what would it do? What I wish I had a T. You gotta
put some like.
If I could press a button,
right.
and then something, and a robot would bring me tea, I would be like over the moon.
I think coffee for me. That would be awesome. So I push a button.
Yeah, you just copied my idea. You're gonna come up with something else now. You can't be like, oh yeah, no, that's great.
Well, I was gonna append this. Actually, it kind of works out because instead I just go, hey Katharyne, make me coffee.
That's true.
It's like the same thing.
I pretty much make you coffee. So
right. So like, I mean, it's an audio interface I'll work with.
Wow. You hear this? Like, never say I pick on Isaac. Never. Yeah. Okay. Have I got anything else to talk about? Oh my gosh. Terry says if she had a magic button, she'd use it to back up in time and fix some stupid decisions. Oh my god. Yeah. How good would that be? Yeah, I would totally be on board with that. Oh yeah, talking of Alexa.
Oh yeah, this was awesome.
Okay,
I love
you can
this
talk
story.
about this one because I haven't read this yet. So
okay, so someone so Alexa and most Siri and probably Google Home, they all have issues when you talk to them. They all have problems. So someone or a family made a party game that is based off the flaws of Alexa. And so the goal is to figure out what to ask or say to Alexa to get her to say a certain phrase or a word.
Oh, that's really funny.
And some of them super easy. Some of it is really challenging. You have to get creative.
Oh, so they said, I'm trying to read it. They started with a number guessing game that they named Alexa Tennis, then moved on to the word guessing mechanic. Instantly we were hooked. We stayed up all night trying to get different words. Oh, that's really funny. So they come up with a word and then they try and make Alexa say that word.
Yeah, everyone has to participate.
Oh,
yeah.
How funny. That's really clever. That's like
what I
such
said.
a simple idea for a game.
It really is. And it's very modern, very 2019, but super simple.
And here's the thing, guys, if you're making books, think about making books for your game. Like, come up with game ideas and put them in your books. Like, you can make score sheets. There's a lot of things you can do with a book. Like, everyone does card games. You can put a card game. Anything you can put in a card game, you can probably put into a book. So
absolutely. And also think about the daily life of someone that's going to buy your book. What are their challenges? What are they? I mean, this right here is like 101, where you look at someone's daily life, you spot a challenge and you make a game out of it.
Right. I was talking about Laurie's books the other day in our thing, and I kind of feel like, so she made this book, my friend Laurie Colwell, she made this book, 837 perfectly good names for your band. And she generated this. I don't know how she used it. She used like a band name generator or something,
sure.
And came up with all these like really funny names, like Yas Queen, the Rotarians, Metaphysical Addict. One called Can We Not?
Well,
that's a great name for a band. Can We Not?
Is it just rock bands or punk bands? Because that totally sounds like a game.
It can be any band.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is the kind of thing that you can create games around. Like, you could totally have a guessing game where you name a band or something, or you try and shoehorn in as many funny words into a band name as you could. And these kind of things are great for books, like especially with Christmas coming up. Like, come up with game ideas for your books, or quizzes, or like funny challenges. Like, I don't know, all the weird challenges that people have done. You could totally put those into books, make like forfeit games, and like, I don't know, if you guess wrong, eat a Tide Pod.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I don't want to get sued. Oh my gosh, don't do that. But you know.
Right.
Okay.
Anyways, I think
we got through everything. So anything else we wanted? Oh, Elon Musk. Have you seen what he's up to?
No, what's he up to?
Oh, he's created Neurolink, and he now wants to put implants in your brain.
Okay.
What could possibly go wrong?
Well, someone saw Johnny Mnemonic way too many times.
So do you want Elon Musk in your brain? Probably not.
Wow.
So actually, it's kind of interesting. He believes that basically it's going to merge your brain with AI. And I think the idea is he wants to use AI to replace, if you have some kind of like dementia or something like that, or a brain injury, the idea is that he wants to use AI to kind of fill in the gaps. It all sounds a little bit like what could possibly go wrong to me, but
well, my question is it much different than our reliance on our phones these days?
Oh, that's
I mean, how much are we actually memorizing? Remember back in the day when you had to memorize everyone's phone numbers? It's like you ask a modern kid today, what's your parents' phone number? They're probably not going to tell you.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know your phone number.
Right. I mean, we're all just so dependent on modern technology with our phones, and it's become an extension of our brain. If we need to know something, you don't have a need to memorize it when you can just Google it.
It's like the old gag of like the teacher saying, well, you're not always going to have a calculator in your pocket. Oh, really?
Who's laughing now, teacher? Right. And so, oh yeah. And I don't know. So I'm like, okay, this is like basically bringing the computer that you already have access to closer
into your brain.
Into your brain. It's removing the barriers. And so
you totally want to be a cyborg though.
Well, I mean, how is it much different than what we're doing now is my question. Because I mean, if I need to know something, the first thing I'm going to do is pick up my phone and type it in.
I know. I kind of like all the cyborg stuff, like the thing in the implants in your finger, so you can open your car with like your finger.
Yeah. Now the only issue.
You know the girl who had the car key in her finger. Isn't that the thing?
In fact, I was going to throw in a nerd corner.
Oh yeah, nerd corner. Real quick.
But anyways, no, I think the only thing I don't like about this is intrusive, and that I don't like biohacking.
Oh.
So that's a problem I have.
Really?
Yeah,
because you're totally into that.
It's cool conceptually, but I personally don't want to do it because I know mistakes happen, and I do not want to like fall victim of some biohack. LASIK, I'm kind of weird about. I don't know. You know, my fear of LASIK is that an earthquake is going to happen just when.
Oh, when his hand's gonna wobble.
Just when they're like slicing my eyelid open.
What if you went and got LASIK like in somewhere that doesn't have earthquakes?
Maybe. I mean, as long as I know it's safe. 100% safe. That's just my concern. However, I do think something like that can be achieved without having to do the biohacking.
Okay.
That's my theory. I think there are better ways to implement.
It's pretty interesting though.
The technology.
It's Elon Musk though, so who knows? He's
pretty wacky.
He's
really smart.
Maybe he's
really
smoking.
Wacky.
Yeah. That's no.
Wait, this is the same guy that warned us about AI, by the way.
Oh yeah.
He's like, AI is gonna kill us all. You don't know. And Zuckerberg's like, yeah, you're being irresponsible. Like, chill out, bro. Like,
yeah.
AI's all right. And
now
Elon
it kind
Musk
of makes sense though, because he's doing like AI is really bad. Everybody stay away from AI. Meanwhile, he's like working on his plan to make AI. It keeps the competition at bay. Like,
at the end of the day, it's all about money, right? Okay.
Anyway, all right, guys.
I want to do one more nerd corner. I thought this was a really cool one.
Oh, wait. Okay, let me find it because I haven't got the link. Let me find the link. Oh my gosh. Can you like sing a song or something while I get the link?
I can, but I won't.
Okay. Okay. Can you like
jazz for me, monkey?
Have I got to type this? Like, oh really? I gotta type. Hold on. Let me get the document up because then.
Okay.
Oh wait, I've got the document here. Then I can get the link. No, I don't. But I'll get it.
Okay.
Do something entertaining and entertain the people. Do an impression. That always goes well. Okay, I got it.
Okay, awesome.
Hold on.
I thought this was a fun story.
Okay. Hold on. Yeah, let me open it. Okay, I've got it. Let me share.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there you go.
All right. So this girl found a way to. So first of all, the issue is that when people drive cars, they have the a blind spot in between your side door.
I'm really enjoying the gesticulations.
Yeah, I know. It's been an hour. It's
Keep going.
Yeah. Anyways, so the little bar that's between your windshield and then also your side window can block your view. And so this girl, a 14-year-old girl, had an idea on how to make it transparent. And I thought her solution was simple but brilliant. And so what she did was she put a camera on the outside of the car, and then on the inside a projector that projects what the camera is directly where the side of your car is.
Whoa.
So it no longer blocks your view, and you can see everything that's behind it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And I thought that was really cool.
So she put a webcam. It says on a webcam on the outside of the pillar, and that's really clever.
Yes, it really was.
Oh, I see how it works.
Yeah. So if you hit the video.
Oh, I don't want to do that
because it'll slow down. Right. So you'll see the cars moving, and this right here, it's in sync.
There's no blind spot. That's genius.
Yes, I thought that was awesome.
Wow.
And you can do a lot more with the technology. Super simple and effective, and I think it'll make people's driving experience that much better.
This is when you get into patenting, and you're just like, she's set up now.
It was a science fair project, super simple but awesome.
Yeah.
So anyways, I thought that was a nerd corner of the week.
That's a great nerd corner. I like it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed our tangent show. It was very tangenty today. Yeah. There were a lot of tangents. If you go and see the Terminator movie, I do hope you enjoy it very much. It's good fun. Go to a cinema that serves whiskey is my recommendation.
Let us know what you think.
And let us know what you think. Yeah, it'll be cool. All right, guys, have an amazing week. We will be carrying on with Lowvember. I'll be doing Facebook Lives most days in the group. So
and tangent template users, those of you using the new interior designer tool, shoot me an email if you encounter any issues, because I want to squash every single bug that exists with it. So I won't know unless you guys give me the feedback.
Okay, so yeah, please keep the feedback coming on the interior designer. We'll be putting out another template tomorrow. We're putting them all out between 10 and 11 a.m. every morning.
We're trying to.
We're working to get each template out by 11 o'clock in the morning. And most days I'm doing a Facebook Live in the KDP group. So do come and join us for those. All right, guys, have an amazing week. We love you. Thanks for watching. Bye.